They always smile. They always seem okay. No matter what happens, they stay positive. But what most people don't see is what that smile is really hiding. Because not every smile comes from happiness. Sometimes it comes from survival. You've probably met someone like this, the one who lifts others up, who laughs easily, who never seems to complain. They make everything feel lighter. But when you really look closely, something feels different. There's a pause behind their smile, a silence between their words, a depth they never fully explain. And that's where the confusion begins. Because how can someone seem so okay and yet feel so distant at the same time? Most people never question it. They accept the surface. They believe the smile. But the truth is, some people learn to smile not because they're happy, but because they've learned it's safer than showing how they really feel. Let me ask you something. Have you ever smiled in front of others while hiding something heavy inside? Because what looks like strength on the outside can sometimes be a quiet way of protecting pain on the inside. And once you understand why they do this, you'll start to see that smile very differently. Because behind it, there's an emotional truth most people never notice. What most people don't realize is that this kind of smile often begins after something breaks inside. Not always loudly, not always in a way others can see, but deeply. It could be a moment of betrayal, a time when they trusted someone, and it didn't end the way they expected. And after that, everything feels different. At first, there's confusion. They try to understand what happened. They replay conversations again and again, looking for signs they missed, words they misunderstood, moments that now feel different. And slowly, doubt starts to grow. Was I too open? Did I trust too easily? Did they ever mean what they said? This is the part that stays hidden behind the smile, because on the outside, they seem fine, but inside, their mind is searching for answers. This is emotional shock, not loud, not dramatic, but quiet and constant. Because when trust breaks, it doesn't just hurt the heart, it changes how you see people. It makes you more careful, more aware, more protective of what you feel. And instead of showing that pain, they learn something else. They learn to smile through it, to hide the confusion, to cover the questions, to keep everything looking normal. Most people never notice this part. They see the smile, but not the reason behind it. But pain like this has a hidden effect, and this is where everything quietly begins to change. And then, something shifts inside them. Not in a dramatic way, not in a way anyone else can easily see, but quietly. They start to understand their own emotions. They begin to notice what drains them, what feels fake, what no longer feels safe to share. This is where emotional awareness begins. They stop opening up the way they used to. They stop giving the same access to everyone, and slowly they start setting boundaries, not with loud words, not with confrontation, but with distance. They share less, they trust slower, they choose carefully who gets to see the real version of them. And then comes the biggest change. They choose silence, not because they have nothing to say, but because they've learned that not everyone deserves the truth behind their smile. But here's what most people expected instead. They expected emotion, they expected questions, they expected reactions that made everything obvious. They thought the pain would show, but something else happened instead. The smile stayed, but the access disappeared. And that's what confuses people the most, because from the outside, nothing looks broken. But inside, everything has changed. Most people never notice this moment, the moment someone stops explaining and starts protecting themselves instead. And when someone quietly pulls their energy back like this, something unexpected begins to happen. And then they start to feel it. Not your words, not your emotions, but your absence. At first, it's subtle. The conversations feel shorter. The connection feels weaker. That same smile is still there. But something is missing, and they can feel it. Because without you opening up, without you sharing what's really inside, they no longer have access to the real you. And that's when their perspective begins to change. Without you there to reassure them, to respond the same way, to stay emotionally available, they start to notice their own behavior more clearly. The things they once ignored, the way they responded, the way they handled your trust. It all starts to come back to them. Most people only realize value when it becomes limited, when what once felt easy is no longer available. And that's when regret begins, not always spoken, not always obvious, but felt deeply, because now they see the difference between someone who was always there and the version of you that slowly pulled away. This is the emotional consequence no one talks about. People don't always regret immediately. They regret when the connection changes, when the energy shifts, when the smile stays, but the truth behind it disappears. But here's the deeper truth. Their realization comes later, because while they're just beginning to understand your value, you've already started becoming someone new. And the most surprising part isn't their regret. It's who you become after the pain. And then something unexpected happens. You realize that the energy you once spent trying to be understood, trying to explain, trying to fix, is no longer yours to give. You begin to feel a quiet strength inside. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, it's steady. You start setting boundaries without guilt. You speak less, listen more, and protect your peace. You stop seeking approval because you've started approving of yourself. This is the moment true self-respect takes root. You see clearly now. Your value isn't measured by who stays. It's measured by how you hold yourself when others leave. And the people who once underestimated you, they begin to notice too late. Because by the time they realize your worth, you've already moved past needing validation from them. This calm detachment isn't coldness, it's growth. It's knowing that your energy matters more than someone else's opinions. It's freedom. Sometimes the greatest revenge isn't proving someone wrong. It's becoming unbothered. It's thriving quietly while the world expected chaos. So ask yourself, have you ever grown stronger after someone underestimated you? Have you ever realized your peace matters more than their recognition? Take a moment to reflect. And if this resonates with you, comment below. Share your story. Your growth might just inspire someone else to stop giving away what they should protect. Their energy, their heart, their peace. Because the final transformation isn't about them. It's about the unstoppable, unshakable, stronger version of you.